When we visit a new city, we always try to research as much as we can. As a result, we often find interesting facts about that city.
So today we're going to tell you 7 facts you probably didn't know about Savannah, Georgia.
Like, for instance, this is the oldest city in Georgia.
And make sure you tune in over the next few weeks. We're going to be showing you everything that we did in Savannah, where we ate, where we drank, and all the cool stuff that we saw.
To start us off at number 1, Savannahs Design.
Savannah is known as one of the first planned cities, and this is one of the few cities in America that has a really great urban design. Savannah has a series of squares throughout the city that allow for a lot more public and wide open space. So right now I am in Madison Square. There originally were 24 squares in Savannah, now there are 22 that remain to this day.
The city was part of the Oglethorpe Plan, created by James Edward Oglethorpe, the founder of the Georgia colony and the town of Savannah in 1733. It uses a network of streets with repeated squares of residential and commercial blocks, with small green parks to create walkable neighborhoods.
And speaking of parks, Forsyth Park is the spot for our second fact. Probably the most photographed area in Savannah is Forsyth Park. This iconic park has this 150-year-old fountain, which many people don't know was ordered in the catalog. Just not a Sears catalog. What that means is the fountain isn't unique to Savannah, with similar fountains being found in New York and around the world, including Paris and Peru. Number 3, take your drinks to go. In Savannah, you could take ToGo Cups and finish your drink within certain city limits.
Yeah, I think almost every restaurant we have been to this trip has asked us if we want a ToGo cup after our meal. Most of the times we've said yes, but there's been one or a few times where we're like, no, we're okay. And they looked at us like we were crazy. So to that, we say cheers.
Savannah allows open containers in most of the city's historic district and across the Savannah River on Hutchinson Island, but only in plastic 16-ounce cups.
And as a bonus fact, the Chatham Artillery Punch is the signature drink in Savannah and is arguably history's strongest drink. The name comes from the Savannah Regiment, which watched over the town for more than 160 years. And with a reference to the Mercer Williams house, we get to number 4. Savannah is haunted. Like haunted. Where you think of like Salem, New Orleans, or even Gettysburg as the most haunted city, a lot of people actually consider Savannah as one of the most haunted places in America.
The city is abound with haunted houses, but the Sorrel Weed House might be the most famous. Several people have died in this house, and their ghosts have been said to wander the grounds. Add to that the hundreds of soldiers who died during the siege of Savannah. Some say there may be soldiers buried underneath the Sorrel Weed House. The Mercer House was the home of Jim Williams, who was a voodoo-practicing antiques dealer and is the main character in the book Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. The home is said to be haunted by the man he allegedly killed in a heated argument, though he was acquitted in 3 separate trials. Moon River Brewing Company is known as the most haunted place in town, featured on both Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters.
We like to see our share of spooky things in each city that we visit, and right now we're in Bonaventure Cemetery, which is supposed to be one of the most haunted places in Savannah.
There are many notable people who are laid to rest at the cemetery, and so many of them come with very fascinating backstories.
Number 5 is a cool bit of Black history we learned. Savannah is home to the oldest Black church in America. First African Baptist is actually one of the oldest continuously operating Black churches in America. The church was organized in 1773, actually making it older than the establishment of the United States in 1776. And it helped enslaved Africans escape through the Underground Railroad. This church played a major role in the civil rights movement as well, and today it stands right here on Montgomery Street, just across from the city market. This one is one of my favorite facts, the Spanish moss. Spanish moss is all around Savannah, and I love the stuff. When we were in Charleston, I practically begged Sarah to go find places to take pictures of it. But if you didn't know this already, I know I didn't, Spanish moss is not actually a moss. And it's not a parasitic plant that kills the trees either. It's actually an epiphyte, which is a plant that grows on other plants or objects merely for physical support. Number 7 is at Tybee Island, and this one is a bit puzzling. One of the lesser known facts about Savannah is that there was a nuclear bomb dropped right here on Tybee Island. It didn't go off, but it was also never found. Okay, so technically it was the Mark 15 thermonuclear bomb, if you know what that is. In 2001, a report was released that said the nuclear capsule was not inserted at the time of the accident.
A little backstory on the incident. In 1958, the U.S. Air Force accidentally dropped the nuclear bomb on the island during a military exercise after two planes collided. After an extensive search for the missing bomb, it was never found. Probably at the bottom of the ocean.
Savannah is such a fun place and probably one of my favorite cities in the South, so I'm super excited to explore over the next few days and, more importantly, show you where we eat, drink, and what we do while we're here in Savannah.
If any of these facts were new to you, or if you have interesting facts about Savannah, leave a comment down below.